The Porsche 911, the Jaguar E-Type, the Mercedes 300 SL Gullwing, all automotive classics loved by middle-aged men. And now, after 35 years on the road and over 1 million units sold, I think the Mazda MX-5 can safely join their ranks. Welcome to Four Wheels in the Seat. I'm Alex Dalrymple. This is my channel where I review new cars every week for people who might not know a lot about cars but are looking for a new good one to buy. I can help you out with a jargon-free review. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below, the notification bell, and if you enjoy the video, please do give me a like. This fourth generation MX-5 has been on the road now for nearly a decade and is arguably about due for an update, but there is still so much to like about this affordable roadster. For 2024, not a huge number of changes. The front light clusters here have had a minor redesign and now include daytime running lights. Still got the same good looking 17-inch black alloys from BBS with red Brembo brakes underneath that, and hidden away behind the discs, yellow Bilstein suspension dampers. At the back here, the rear light clusters have had a bit of a redesign. We've got twin exhausts down the bottom there, which make an okay noise, but there's no popping or crackling, unfortunately. And the boot is small as ever, just 130 litres, probably just enough room for a couple to have a weekend away maybe, and have a good time here in the Mazda MX-5. Under the bonnet, no huge changes, in fact really none at all. It's exactly the same as it was before, and still tricky to open, apparently. There we go, got it. So we've got a naturally aspirated 2-litre 4-cylinder engine here, which outputs 135 kilowatts and 205 newton meters of torque. Power goes to the rear wheels only via a 6-speed manual transmission. There is an automatic one available for the week. Some relatively minor but important changes in the interior of the Mazda MX-5 for 2024, most notable being the new center console screen, which has grown to 8.8 inches and most importantly now has Mazda's latest infotainment software, which is a vast improvement over the ancient version that was here in the previous model. It also includes wireless Apple CarPlay and wireless Android Auto. It's not a touch screen except for when you're using Apple CarPlay. Thank God, because Apple CarPlay is an absolute nightmare to use with a jog wheel. Only one camera in this car and it's at the back. The image from that is nice and sharp on the screen. Everything else pretty much the same as it was before. There are now 2 USB-C ports down here in the lower console rather than USB-A. This gear shifter, one of the best. You are going to have so much fun using this because it's got nice short throws, it's nice and notchy, has a great feel, and the handbrake of course has an equally good feel as well. So much fun to pull on when you're securing the car, when you're parking it, and that's the only time you'd use it, because that's what it's for. Jog wheel here for the center console screen. One slight inconvenience with that is that when you're changing gears and you're listening to music on CarPlay, your wrist can hit this and the music is constantly pausing. So that's a little bit annoying that that's just in the line of that. Tiny little bin here, just room for my wallet. Cup holders, which are removable. You can actually put one of these here in the front. Maybe not that one, must be the other one. But it is easy to elbow your coffee as well, so you've just got to be a little bit careful of that because, I mean, this is a small car, space is pretty limited. No glove box in front of the front passenger, instead it's here in the middle. Instrument cluster, no major changes there. It's still analog and digital with a digital screen on the left-hand side. You can cycle through a few different display options with that. There's no digital readout for the speedo either, which after 10 or 15 years of having that, I'm finding a little bit annoying it not being here, so I'm purely reliant on the slightly less accurate analog dial for my speed. Steering wheel, I like this wheel. It's arguably a touch too big and my knees do kind of rub on it a little bit, but it has such a nice feel and it's, you know, it's leather stitching and it's just really nice to throw around. The steering feels perfectly weighted. Oh. Hit my head doing that. There is a major issue with visibility in this car, being that there is a huge blind spot just here where the B-pillar is, and when you're overtaking or changing lanes, you really can't see anything going on here in the blind spot. There is blind spot monitoring in the rear vision mirror, but it will go off even when there is room for you to merge. So sometimes changing lanes just involves a fair bit of faith. The seats are leather. There is no electric adjustment, manual only. They slide backwards and forwards, but that's really about it. For me, the seating position, well, my eyes are kind of almost in line with the top of the windscreen here, but I can see out the front really well, pretty much right to the front corners. Well, the driving experience of the 2024 MX-5 is just the same as it was before, which is brilliant. A couple of other features new to the MX-5 in 2024 include asymmetrical limited slip differential and dynamic stability control for the track. Together, those two systems allow you to have a bit more fun in the high-speed corners out on the track. Something else that's been added that is a little bit lost on you when you've got the roof down, and that is extra noise from the engine being pumped into the cabin from the speakers. Gets a little bit lost out here in the open air. I'm going to say it's really nice driving with the roof down, not just because of the wind in my hair and the noise, but also that massive blind spot that you get when the roof is up is not there and you have so much visibility. It just feels so authentic. This is proper driving. It's what it's meant to be. It's just you, the car, and the road. So is the MX-5 a turn-back car, a car so good looking you just have to turn back and look at it after you've parked it? It is the very definition of turn-back car. One of the great things about driving a convertible is that every day feels like the weekend. I feel like I should be heading off to the beach, or maybe not in this weather, but off to the country for a drive on a twisty country road maybe. I don't know why it is, but whenever car makers lend me a convertible, it's always when the weather's gone a bit cold and I have to rug up. But having said that, you know, I'm driving along with the seat heater on, a little bit of gentle warm air blowing through the air vents. I'm perfectly comfortable here. If you've bought the automatic version of the MX-5, then I think you need to pull over to the side of the road right now, slap yourself over the wrist with a wet lettuce leaf, take the car back to the dealership, apologize to the dealer for humiliating yourself, trade it in for the manual version, because this car should be a manual only. If you don't know how to drive stick, learn. This manual transmission is probably the easiest one you could ever use with its really short throws, high friction point on the clutch. It's actually almost hard to stall. If you don't know how to drive manual, then this is a really good car to learn on, but finding someone who has a manual MX-5 who's willing to teach you is another matter. It is possible to feel just a little bit self-conscious driving a convertible with the top down. Kind of screams, look at me a little bit. But you know what, you just got to roll with it. Just do it, because it is so much fun. Ignore the naysayers, they're just jealous that you're actually having a great time driving your car and they're not. The MX-5 is a bit more expensive now than it was when I last reviewed it 3 years ago, and it's hard to see exactly how that's justified beyond the new infotainment. But if you can look beyond that, it is still unbeatably good fun and great value.